Hey, you guys. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Sunshine Haze. I am back. I'm Aja A. For those of you that don't know who I am by now, as you follow me, you know I'm Aja A. I have a new video up for you, and what does that mean? It means we have something going on with the moon, right? But as you guys know, before I start talking to you about what's actually going on, I drop my little shameless plugs and thank you. So I would just like to say thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel. Hello to all my new subscribers. What's good? Thank you to all of my tarot clients, especially the ones that I've gotten from this channel. I really do appreciate you. Thank you to all of my customers making purchases on my Etsy shop and people who aren't using the Etsy shop but still, making purchases for pendants and, natal charts and numerology reports. It has been a bit of a crazy time. So for those people who I'm a little behind and I have contacted you all, but if you haven't checked your email for some reason, I really will have everything that is supposed to be out by the end of this weekend, guys. Shout out to Rick, because Rick is one of my most loyal customers. I'm sorry your stuff is coming, okay, love? All right, guys. So what's going on? We're coming up on a full moon on Saturday, which means we are starting the beginning of the ending of this lunar cycle that we started in Pisces. So I don't want people to get confused when I say it's the new moon. This is the end of the lunar cycle. It's the beginning of the end of the lunar cycle. So it is the end, but we're starting the end now. So we're not right at the end, but we're getting ready to start the end. This Pisces lunar cycle, we've been dealing with, the Pisces sign deals with creativity and spirituality and also love and sensuality. So we've been dealing with new beginnings surrounding all of those things. We now have a full moon, and this full moon is going to be in Libra. And we also have a couple of cosmic things going on with this full moon as well, kind of contributing to the energy or the vibe during this time, especially the Mercury Retrograde in the opposite sign of Aries. So let's just get right into it, you guys. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I do my research, and then I watch a lot of YouTube videos because I like to see what other people are doing and what works and what doesn't. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting bored, y'all. So I try to get this information to you in a way that I'm not like but I'm also, it's not gonna draw out for like an hour. I'm like, what, it's such good information out there, but sometimes I just cannot sit through it. So let's get straight to it, you guys. What's going on? We have a full moon coming up on Saturday, and that's going to be at 8:36 Eastern Standard Time. Am I right? Yeah, 8:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is on the last day of the month, the 31st. And so, as you guys know, or if you don't know, what is the full moon? So when the sun, the moon, and the earth are in alignment, and the side of the moon that is illuminated is facing us. So definitely a time for bringing things to light. That's what I do love about the full moon. It is kind of a chaotic time, but if you watch my channel, you know that I am ruled by the moon. I'm a little Cancer sun and a Cancer moon, so these moons be affecting me. I prefer new moons, but when the full moon comes about, what I do enjoy about this time is the fact that we can use this time to really start to pay attention to things that we may not have been able to see in, the other weeks surrounding this time. So something else that's interesting about this moon that we have coming up, and then if you guys have been watching my channel, or if you pay attention to, the cosmos of the universe, or, the astrologies, we've been having a lot of crazy stuff going on this year. We've had 2 eclipses already. We had a super blue blood moon, and we are having another blue moon. Now, there's not really a great significance to this type of blue moon. It's a blue moon because it's another full moon. It's more than one full moon happening in a calendar month. There are different types of blue moons, but the one we're dealing with is just the second one in March. But, blue moons are not that common. That's why we have the phrase, oh, once in a blue moon, because blue moons don't come around like that. And we've already had, the 2 in, January? Yes, because we didn't have any full moons in February, and people thought that we were chilling, but no, we were dealing with those eclipses. And we had one at the beginning of this month, and then we're having another one on Saturday. So even though there's not a great astrological significance to this type of blue moon, for me, I like to use it as a little bit of an extra cleanup. I like the blue moon time because it's like, oh, I get another chance to shed some light on some things that I may not have seen, or I get another chance to, release some things that I maybe held on to longer than I needed to, right? So as I say in every video, this is the time for that. So if you guys, especially with this being starting the ending of our Pisces lunar cycle, this is really a time to be paying attention to things that you may have, kind of let go over your head. As you guys know, Pisces is a sign dealing with spirituality, and I was telling you guys with the new moon in Pisces, we are going to start kind of seeing the veil raise on certain things that our vision may have been a little bit cloudy on. What's next, guys? I have my notes here as always. So we've got this full moon. Now that we've talked a little bit about what the full moon is, what sign is this full moon in? It's in Libra. I know a couple Libras. My Grammy's a Libra. One of my favorite roommates ever, who I just left, is a Libra. Natasha, I love you. This is your moon, girl, so get it poppin'. Libra is a sign that, as you guys know, Libra is the scales. It's a sign that deals very, very closely with justice, partnerships, and then Libra is also a love sign. So, and this being a full moon, and as I always say, the new moon, I like to look at as anxiety runs a little bit higher during the new moon for me. Excuse me, but the full moon is when I typically tend to see people's emotions, running off the charts, and I'm accustomed to it now. And if you know these lunar cycles, or you really study astrology, you can kind of prepare yourself for the energy that's going to be, going on or around you during that time. And then I'm also, a little moon child, so my emotions kind of beyond 10. But this is a air moon, so I don't know. We'll see how this one is for me. We'll see. But because we're dealing with partnerships and love, well, let's talk about this first. Love, Libra being the sign of love and relationships and partnerships. Because we're dealing with that and we're dealing with a full moon, what we're going to be looking at during this time is this is going to be a time to release those things in our lives, especially in love, that are not serving us. So, if you're in a relationship that you're not supposed to be in, or even if you have friends that, are just no longer serving you or helping you serve your higher purpose, this full moon is going to come in and say, hey guys, I'm here to show you that this is not good for you. It's got you like this. Let's do away with some of this stuff so we can put you into balance. That's really what this Libra full moon is about. And because we're talking about justice, especially all my fellow tarot readers out there, people that, use tarot, deal with tarot, the justice card is associated very closely with karma. So this is what I was thinking about when I was doing my notes. I was like, oh, this is a karmic moon, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the numerology of this moon after I talk about Libra. But boy, when I tell you this is actually a very important full moon. I'm looking at my notes, and I do this when I start to see numbers. I have 11, 19, and 119 written down. It's just funny because new beginnings, phases are ending, and we have a full moon right now, and that's a little bit more for me, but maybe it's for you guys too, because it is next to my notes for this video. So hey, full moon does signify endings, and the ending of old phases and getting you prepared to come into a new. But back to what I was talking about with karma, because we're dealing with the full moon and we're dealing with illumination, and we're dealing with, release. As I said, with the relationship aspect, what we may be looking at with this, as I said, is going to be a karmic moon. So if you are in situations, or if you were in, karmic relationships, or if, however far along you are on your life path, this full moon, whether it is on the surface or if it's on some like subconscious type stuff, everything is divine timing. But this full moon in Libra is almost like the key to unlocking what the divine timing that I've been talking about in all of my videos is really getting started, bringing into all of our lives. So again, we're going to be shedding some light on things that aren't supposed to be. We're also going to be shedding some light on the things that we're supposed to be doing. And when I say karmic, I also mean divine timing. So going in conjunction with the full moon in Virgo, and then the full moon in Leo, where, you know, we're getting ourselves prepared, getting ourselves set up for all of this success that's supposed to be coming in this 11 year, and then, you know, analyzing our process and trying to figure out, okay, what do we really need to do? What do we really need to move out of the way? And then you got this Libra thing, like, how can you bring in the balance so you can really get things started? Full moon in Libra, that's what it's here for, all right? I haven't touched on numerology too much in my other videos, but that is something that I am very much into. And with this being the Libra full moon, as I was looking at everything, I'm just like, oh, you guys, this moon is important, okay? We're in an 11 universal year. I do have a video up about that for those. 11:01, guys. That's what the time was on. Okay. Synchronicity has been off the chain for me in the past few days, but 11:11, okay, all right. And I knew it was coming, but I wasn't planning on looking up at the camera. Okay, so we're in an 11 year, y'all, and I have a video on that. I'm saying this now that I'm going to link it down below. I may forget, but if I don't, hopefully it's down there in the box for y'all. If it's not, it is on my channel. 11 Universal Year, I believe, is the title. It's very, very simple, y'all. Which, if you know anything about master number 11, I'm an 11 myself also. Carry a very high vibration, and then it also has a lot to do with enlightenment and healing. So we've got the full moon in 11 degrees of Libra. So we're going to be looking really at, this full moon is really going to shed some light on what's really important in our lives. And then also, because it's in 11 degrees, and 11 also has to do with healing, like spiritual healing, we're going to be looking at this being a very big transformation for a lot of people. Now, because this is a Libra full moon, if you're a Libra sun, moon, or rising, or if you have a lot of Libra in your chart, you're going to be affected by this moon. And as I'm learning, I'm always learning, I'm always doing research, and so I'm starting to figure out that when it is your moon, it's either very positive for you, or it's either really crazy for you. For me personally, water full moons are the worst for me, but water new moons are bomb, especially Cancer. I love this new moon in Pisces. New moon in Pisces was popping. I have a lot of people telling me, like, yeah, no, this was crazy, but if you don't have a lot of water in your chart, I know that energy was hard to deal with, especially because water signs are emotions and feelings are off the chain, okay? But sorry, back to numerology. We had this full moon is in March. March is the 3rd month. And then if you look at the date, and in this case, I'm not going to break it down to one number. It's on the 31st, so we're dealing with a 3 and a 1. The number 3 has to do a lot with communication and how we interact with people, and then also creativity. And 3 is also associated with youth. So if we're looking at the full moon, when I say we're talking about healing, guys, during this time, this Libra full moon may actually shed some light on some old wounds that need to be either closed up or cleansed on the real. My ear. I'm wearing these big old hoops. I was really excited to wear them, but I'm so chill, you guys. I don't really do myself up like that because I be chilling, and these earrings are hurting my ears, but I'm gonna keep them in because I only have a few more things to tell you guys about. As soon as I press the little record button, I'm taking these bad boys off. As I was saying, full moon may bring, either shed a little bit of light on, or you may start to just subconsciously start feeling a little bit of a heaviness, and that heaviness is an indicator that you need to release. And it may be some things that you guys have been, and myself, that we all have been suppressing, especially dealing with this 3 vibration. It's a nostalgic number with a very nostalgic vibe. So a lot of us may be dealing with, old childhood issues or old wounds that we may not even remember, to be completely honest. Some things may start to surface for us around this time that may be very hard to cope with, but that is the Libra scales saying, okay, it's time to balance your life out, and there's some things that you need to work through, and also having to do with just the 11 vibration and the 11 and the 1 vibration of new beginnings and healing. And as I said, because we're in an 11 year, we're talking about transformation, and it's Libra, so we're talking about justice and karma as well. And because we're coming off of the new moon in Pisces with lifting the veil, and Neptune being in Pisces, this is a very, very important time. And people who are in tune and really doing the research and know about all of these energies and all these portals and everything, this may be a little bit of a tough energy to deal with, especially, again, if you have a lot of Libra in your chart. If you have Aries in your chart, because we're opposite Aries right now as well. And then if you have a lot of air in your chart, I've come to find that when whatever element the moon is in, it tends to affect people like that, affect those people as well. So air people and Libras especially, and then Aries people, just be mindful, watch out, because this moon might be coming for you. Because I'm talking about Aries, let me go on and segue into sidebar fun fact. So I was looking at something, and I pride myself in my spelling. If I could have participated in spelling bees, like for real, when I was younger, that's something that I would have done when I was like in elementary school. I really would have done that. There is a word like every few years that for some reason I just forget how to spell. I was reading the word segue, and I was like, what is that? And then I had to stop myself and go, wow, Aja, that's a segue. Like, come on, girl. A little sidebar for you guys. See, I like to let you guys get to know me, you know. And as you can see, I tend to keep it real on my videos. I be yelling at roommates and stuff, so this is what you get. But let's go on and segue into this moon being affected by the Mercury retrograde in Aries. I do have a video up on that, so because everybody blames everything on Mercury retrograde, and oftentimes y'all don't even know what you're talking about. If you don't know what the Mercury retrograde is, especially if you're blaming everything in your life on it, go on and watch my video so you can at least, when people start asking questions, because they're starting to get suspicious, you can at least drop a couple of bombs of knowledge on them, like, yeah, no, I'm serious, this is why this is happening like this. I, again, will have that link down in the description box below, okay? Aries is opposite Libra, so Libra deals with partnerships and relationships and love. Aries, being the sign opposite of Libra, is a sign very highly associated with the self. And surprise, surprise, Mercury during this full moon is retrograde in Aries in how many degrees? 11. So that's another reason why I said this full moon is very important, because the numerology associated with it is I was talking about synchronicity earlier, guys. Like it's a little too, you can't pass over this. This is being an 11 year, and you got Mercury in retrograde in Aries in 11 degrees and the full moon in Libra in 11 degrees. What's going on? We're really shedding light. This is time to really bring in the healing and cleanse whatever needs to be cleansed and get rid of whatever needs to, you know, get pushed out, so that we can keep on building with, you know, Saturn being in Capricorn. We're really working on our foundations and really getting ourselves set up for how our lives are supposed to be. Because this retrograde is in Aries, because this retrograde is in Aries and we're dealing with the full moon in Libra, and we're talking about enlightenment and, you know, cleansing and healing, the Aries aspect of it puts it right in alignment with healing ourselves. So oftentimes, and you know, it's very important for people to understand that, yes, people go through their own things, but pretty much everything that anybody goes through is a result of an external influence. Whether you want to say you contribute to a person's, you know, state of mind or not, very often than not, especially when people are going through a rough time, very often it's not their fault. And it's very important that people stop telling people, especially people that are depressed, people that have anxiety, or people that have high stress levels, that you put yourself into this situation. No, stress is typically always from an external factor. And yes, when people are stressed, they tend to make it a little bit worse by worrying and stuff, but everything comes from somewhere, guys. So, you know, with this Libra moon and this retrograde in Aries, it's actually giving us a chance to kind of take a step back and slow down a little bit and look at, okay, what is causing problems in my life, and how do I work through this. How do I get this out? What do I do? How do I make it so that I don't have to deal with these problems, and that it's not where I'm just suppressing them, where it's actually where, you know, I'm working through this and I can actually lift these burdens off of my shoulders. So retrograde Mercury is a crazy aspect, and especially with it being in Aries, it's kind of wild. But with the full moon in Libra, it actually gives us a little bit of a positive to say, okay, how do I find the balance, Libra, in my life, Aries, okay? So, you guys, this full moon, as usual, full moons are always kind of crazy because emotions tend to run on 10, but there are so many aspects to this moon that make it such an important one, and make it to where, like, whatever's going on during these next few days, in the shadow, it tends to last about, 3-4 days before and 3-4 days after. Pay very, very close attention to the things that are being said to you, one, because we're in this Mercury retrograde, and then really take a look at your partnerships, your relationships, and where you are in life, and look at how close you are to turning points in your life. So if you just recently went through something life-changing, look at how that's playing out for you, and look at what's being shown to you as far as what needs to be done, or, how you can progress, or changes that need to be made. If you guys are into doing like full moon intentions, I definitely say go on and do that. I'm actually going to put up a blog, and I will have that link down in the description box below. And I'll also put up a thread on Twitter for those of you that aren't trying to read a full blog. I know people don't really read. I love literature, but I know everybody's not like me, and that's okay. So I'm going to put up a thread on Twitter for the new moon intentions, and then I will also have a blog up for the full moon intentions, and I will also have a blog up for how I do my full moon intentions. And for anybody that's interested in checking that out, what I do want to say is that I made the way that I don't really like to use the word ritual, but people call these full moon rituals. I'd say full moon intentions because sounds crazy to me. Like, I promise I'm not doing anything crazy. The same way that I am with my spirituality. I like to pull from different things and make whatever works for me work for me. So I use a lot of different methods in the way that I do my intentions. So I'm going to put out there how I do it. If you feel like you want to try my way, try my way. It's nothing crazy. I have sage and a candle and paper and sometimes the incense and my stones, Again, watch out for your emotions. Be very mindful. Definitely. Oh, I missed the part with Mercury in retrograde in Aries. Because this is in Libra, this full moon is in Libra, and it deals with relationships and love, and we have Mercury in retrograde in Aries, it's very important to pay attention to your feelings, your heart. A lot of things that you may feel may be disguised as love, but you guys, this is going to be a very lustful time for people, so just be careful, be mindful of who you're involving yourself with, and try not to put yourself into any kind of serious situations or make any serious decisions around relationships during this full moon. Really during this retrograde in Aries, I would say if you can, put it off till like the end of April, for real, beginning of May. Okay, back to closing it up, guys. Full moon intentions, I'll have those blog posts down there for you. Watch out for your emotions. Be mindful because we have the retrograde. Just be careful of how you're speaking to people, and then try to really pay attention and hear what's being said to you, okay? What else, guys? Check out my Etsy shop. I make pendants. This is one of my favorites. This is amethyst, lapis lazuli, and tourmalated quartz. This actually has like a few of my favorite stones in it. Let's see. Can you guys see that? One of them. If you're interested in purchasing a pendant, I always put 2 stones in the ones that I sell online. If you want a custom piece, just email me and we can work that out. But you have 2 stones. There's energy healing pendants. If you're interested, buy one off of my Etsy shop. If you're interested in booking any tarot readings, you can go to my Etsy store and book that on there as well. My tarot readings, I get turned around pretty quickly. Or you can reach me on Instantgo. or you can email me if you need to. If there's something that if you don't see anything that works for you on either of those platforms, definitely send me an email, and we can figure out how to help you, how to heal you. That's what I do it for. What else, guys? Check out my other videos, especially ones that I have linked down there below. And I don't think anything crazy is happening in between now and the next new moon in Aries. So I'll see you guys in that next video, and I'll have a tarot forecast for that Aries lunar cycle when I put that up as well. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit that little thumbs up button for me down below. If you have any questions or comments about anything I said in this video or in general, go on and drop them. Life is slowing down a little bit. We got this Jupiter retrograde, thank God, because I need a little bit of a break. All of us do. I am back to checking my channel every day, so I am back to responding to you guys.